All right, get to the program. Come on.
To the program?
Yeah.
What?
All right. All right, Shalom. Shalom. Face the east. All praises, honor, and glory to
Yahawashi,
Yahawashi.
All right, we get the honors past the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, shalom to all you brothers out there teaching the truth with sincerity. All right, with the Hebrew Israelites back at you once again to prophesy the downfall of Esau's kingdom and to bring remembrance into the children of Israel, which consists of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, to bring it back to our God, which is Yahweh, to our Lord Yahawashi. It's Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi. Yahweh means He is in the ancient Hebrew tongue. That's what this word English calls God. All right, Bahashim means in the name. All right, Yahawashi is what this word English calls Jesus. All right, Yah means He, Yahawashi means saves to delivers. All of that's in the ancient Hebrew tongue. All right, which is the ancient language spoken by the ancient Israelites, which are all ancestors. All right, and we have to return onto that language to call upon the Heavenly Father in the Son with those names. All right. You don't need to know the entire Bible in the ancient Hebrew tongue. You need to know specifically those names. Right? Just as the scriptures say, it's the only names given under heaven we must be saved. You know? It's through Yahawashi. Alright? So Lord willing that this camp session is edifying you brothers and my sisters in the world for this community. You know, and I want to start with you know, once again with the Maui thing, you know, the brothers were digging up some stuff, and you know they found a couple of things. Like the mayor of Maui said that those lands were was it reclaimed or something like that by the state. And the brother kept repeating it, and not just that. Before that even happened, they were talking about a Maui was a smart project or something like that.
Oh, smart city. They collaborated with what is it? Agenda 2030. You know, and they even scheduled it. They scheduled like when they're going to start and all that. They had that for like August and all that stuff. You know, so you can see why when they hit that deadline, nobody was aware of it. So that's it makes sense why they had to turn off the water, why they had to turn off what is it? They kept the electricity on, the sirens. They contain those citizens in there.
There's no internet.
Yeah, no internet. They contained them in there. They didn't let, and they when the wildfires was going, everybody trying to escape. You know, they had police or troopers or whatever. Just blocking the end of that road, so everybody was confined in that town. A lot of people died.
I believe they canceled school that day.
Oh, they canceled school.
You know, and they pretty much laid waste to that place because they want to start over and start with more control with these smart cities and stuff like that. You know, and you know that's what they're doing. You know, and that's ultimately heading to the mark of the beast. You know, that's their ultimate goal, is to have everybody chipped. All right, which is the RFID chip. RFID stands for radio frequency identification, and they're trying to have that linked with. They're trying to have people linked with everything, with technology. You know, if they have more control, since they have control over the technology, they want control over that, and that's why you know how the military works with the AIs and stuff like that. How and now citizens have access to the AIs, but the AI that they have is people say it's like wow and everything like that. But the military is always a step further. That's why they release things out there to the public, like for example, drones that you see people flying about. That was the thing used for the military. The what's it, quadcopter drone.
I'll give you an example also that, like CDs. Y'all remember CDs? And some brothers might remember CDs. You know, CDs was already around in the 1960s, 1970s around, and they got released to the 70s, 80s, but they were known as laser discs. They were a lot larger, like just like those old record music. You know, the internet was around also. What is this? 1960s, 70s, around there, 80s. You know, it was only used by the military. All that was used by the military, and then got released to the public later on. It was used also as a form of communication. You know, there's a lot of devices that will come out with, use that for example, and then he releases it to the public because he comes out with something more.
It's the same thing when they do with decommissioned vehicles. They allow the citizens to buy it because they already have a new model of it that's more superior than that. So they allow it to be sold to the citizens. It's the same thing. You know, Esau. Somebody want to get that scripture was talking about the sword being refurbished. You know, because this is what Esau does. He always takes that wheatstone or whetstone, you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, and he's always constantly sharpening that sword. But there's a reason why swords are even made. You know, because all the technology that you use nowadays, Esau uses it in a way that you don't actually have a. Esau uses it in a way that you don't actually think of. You know, like your phones. You know, you see the internet. All of these things, he weaponizes it. All the things that you do now, everything that you see nowadays, that's already been weaponized. Whether it be from cars, you know, whether it be from the clothing you wear, you know, all these things he weaponized in his military. Because the reason his military is so strong is because this all goes all the way back to the book of Genesis, where Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. All right. So he lives by the sword, and that's why his sword is always strong. That's why the military always has superior things than what the citizens have. You know, anybody got it? That's sword. It's not for. It's you know, the sword. Put sword slaughter. Oh my gosh.
Alright, I found it.
Got it? Okay.
Well, there's only one scripture, so you verify it. Yeah.
It was furbished, not refurbished. It was furbished. I want somebody to get the word furbished, like interlinear or definition. You read it?
I'm gonna start at 9.
All right.
This is Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy and say, "Thus saith the Lord."
This is what we're doing out here, man. We're prophesying that these things are going to happen, you know, and people, if every single time, somebody want to get that scripture? The prophets before me and before thee of old, you know, because every single time the prophets are out here, they're always ridiculed by the people, always saying that you're not prophets, you're false prophets, all these type of things. They don't want to take heed to it. They don't got the eyes to see, and like they can see when it's going to rain. You know, when the sky is a clear day or when it's cloudy, you know, but you can not, just as Yahawashi said, you can't even see the signs of the times. Like, bro, find the prophets that are leaking the signs of the times to prophecy. That's how you're going to know which are the prophets, man. You know, the men of all the men of old did the same. That's why the 1/3 back then, and the rest of the 144,000, they found the truth. They found Yahawashi. They found all of that. You know, because they examined. You know, they did their study. You know, they clarified, and so they stood firm.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh wait, what the prophets before thee?
I haven't finished this.
Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and evil and of pestilence.
That's right. And we prophesy these things. People don't want to listen to us. It's the same thing with the men of old. You know, when these things come to pass, then you shall know the prophet's been among you. You know? You may look at me and say, you're a young kid, you don't know what you're doing. You're not gonna be out here for years. You know, mark my words, Lord willing, if this world keeps going, and Lord willing it doesn't, you know, if this world keeps going, Lord willing the Lord keeps the spirit on me. I keep coming out here. You know, our teacher's been doing it for years, man. Since they were young. 30 plus years, man. And still going. You know?
Shalom. Yahawashi, shalom, shalom, barakatah.
Yeah, shalom to all you
Shalom,
brothers on the
Hakim.
combo board. Yahawashi, shalom, barakatah to all you sister brothers. And you few my sisters.
This is scripture that JDC bring it up. This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. Satan trying to mess with this.
Yeah.
Alright. Again, okay, yeah. Gotta reload it. Alright. It's from KDC. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. The instrument also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right.
That's right. You can continue with that. Oh yeah, yeah. No, keep going on that.
So I'm going to start over. This is Ezekiel 21, verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter.
That's what a sword is made to do. It's made to kill. You know? That's what a sword is made to do. Why is it sharpened? To cut through flesh. You know? To kill man. Not just man, it beasts or anything, man. It can cut through plants. It's literally designed to kill. You know, continue about Bashar.
It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth?
Should we then make mirth? Is it the time to make mirth? When behind the scenes these things are happening? No, the brother over here Daba Allah, he got the etymology of furbish. It says to rub or scour to brightness, to clear from taint or stain. And what is that in the modern term when it comes to weaponry? What is that? Because of course, you won't see guns constantly being furbished, constantly being brightened. What does that mean nowadays when something is furbished? When something is when a weapon is furbished? When new models come out of the same weapon, you're constantly keeping up, constantly making new weaponry, making it stronger and superior than your enemies. That is a way of furbishing your weapons to making it more superior than your opponents.
When
you
you're
know,
trying to upgrade.
when it seems like it's peace, they're constantly still upgrading weapons. Their mind is still on the weaponry their mind is constantly on weaponry and keeping up with the basically it's like you see it had the golden age, you got the bronze age, and all these type of things. During that time they had weapons when it comes to copper, when it comes to bronze, when it comes to iron, when it comes to steel, these type of things. You know, they constantly that's like a form of furnace. But what I said was understandable. I keep slipping on my damn tongue.
I gotta hit the video.
Flesh is black.
Selenia for furbish, and it goes into Malrock. To scour, polish. To scour. If I had to repeat itself.
Yeah.
To be scoured.
Scoured, which basically means to scour away all the dirt, the dirtiness, and everything like that. It's to basically wipe it away. You know, if that's, you know, Esau's doing that through the way of his technology, the way of his weaponry. You can see how, for example, I'm gonna put it out there again. You see phones, for example. You remember how big the phones were back then?
Yeah.
It's because they already had, in the military, they already had a smaller version of it. And when they designed a smaller version of it, you know, they didn't release it to public yet until they had a better version of that smaller version. Then they released that one to the public. or they can do several generations ahead and then release the older generations along the way. You know. So basically that's Esau's way of furbishing his weapon. He makes sure that none of his enemies see him furbishing the weapon, sharpening it, because the sharpening part comes through the way of his other weaponry, like guns and explosives and things like that. You know, because those things are made and designed to kill. You know, you could furbish anything like shields, armor, things like that. You could furbish it, you can clean it, you can polish it. You know, that's how Esau's keeping his military up in ranks.
It goes into it. Strong definitions, primitive roots to polish by implication, to sharpen, also to rinse, bright, furbish, scar.
Right.
You know, it's like you. If anybody familiar with grew up in the old school way, like the $6 million man, he got made better, faster, stronger. You know. That's Esau mentality. Esau with his devices, like they're trying to make it more better and more better as he goes.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you know, Esau can have all kinds of friends also, but he got these satellite systems, you know, and he's perfecting that. He said because when he in case the enemies, how you say, for his what's the word, for his rivals. You know, but so he's supposed to have allies, but he considered all those allies as enemies anyway. So
I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I'm not sure if one of the brothers uploaded it or not, or I just saw it randomly. There was a military expo where people, citizens or civilians, they design military equipment that if the military sees it, they can take it in, right? So they have an expo for that, or inventions, things like that help the military, to help advance it, right? And someone created an exosuit, as in, it looks like regular clothing, but it enhances physical capabilities. It makes you stronger, makes you run faster, and less fatigue, things like that. You know, and somebody designed it, so that's something to point out. So if a civilian designed that, you already know the military's probably ahead of it. You know, ahead of the ball game when it comes to that.
he's under a paywall now. You know, whoever decides.
Yeah, and if the military did like that, they're gonna take him in and assign him to a project that's already been in the works, and have him advance on that.
But you know what? That reminds me of the movie also. Well, Independence Day. You know, when they went to like Area 51 or whatever, and they found this scientist, tech guy or whatever he is. You know, and he said because they liked his work so much, they took him in, and they didn't. I think he explained that they didn't let him out much. He never went out much. He's supposed to be in where he's at. That's what he eats. That's where he sleeps. They'll keep it in that secret bunker or whatever they had, secret headquarters. You know, that's how Esau is. He likes you so much. He's going to take you in. According to the public, you are missing. You're either dead or that, but you could be employed.
It remind me of that game called Evil Genius.
People don't know what they're in.
Sleep and eat there.
People don't know what they're in for when they're working for Esau.
Yeah, that's a contract. That's a contract with the devil already. You know. So that's pretty much it on that. See, I think he's resetting. All right. Yeah, I got from PDC 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
That's right, and that's Esau's other way of weaponry, his sorceries and enchantments. So he uses the media. The media is also a way of a weapon.
It's a weapon.
It's called psychological warfare. You know,
Food and water. That's the weapons. He weaponizes a lot of things. You know. He weaponizes reputation.
You can even say he weaponizes everything.
Pretty much. Everything is a weapon. You can't speak it like a lot of these celebrities. They can't speak against Esau because Esau will weaponize a certain aspect of their lives, and they can't do anything about it. You know. And you know what? They can still do something about it if they knew this truth. And a lot of them knows it's true, you know. But if they're really into the truth, they won't give a shit. They'll still push that truth out anyways, you know. This is why like celebrities up there, they have a contract in blood pretty much with with the devil, you know. Because even when they come out and say something, the devil trying to humble them down, and now they can't do nothing. Like most recently, right now they're saying that dude that plays the Patriots, Keanu Reeves. They said that now they get Keanu Reeves ready to speak out what's going on. That's the rumor that he's going to team up with Mel Gibson or whatever, you know. So two things can happen: either he get humbled down, or someone just put him out, take him out.
Or the third option, he's the one. Take that. Make it seem like he's worth it. All there's different outcomes. Because he's a very deceptive ass man. He's like a serpent, man. Make it seem like he's for the people, but actually behind the scenes, it's just all a play. And then when, for example, when the R5 comes out, Mark the Beast, he gets it on camera. So that it's okay. People trust on him. He's deceptive. You know how the scriptures talk about go ye on your swords and enchantments, something like that.
You have to
Isaiah 47.
You have to expect everything from a man that has no honor.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah. Right here. This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 12. It says, "Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be that thou be able to prevail." Should I start it?
What he said? What this Jake said?
Alright, no problem.
Let's talk about the Bible right now.
Lucky. Let me start it.
Just gonna get destroyed. Stupidity, man.
I don't want to even mention it. Saggy ass, smoking, beer drinking. It's alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna read 12 again. It says, "Stand now with thine enchantments and the multitude of thy sorceries, which thou hast labored from thy youth, if so that thou mayest be able to prevail." Profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Because Esau, this is Esau. That's his other form of weaponry. Showing off his sorceries and enchantments in that way, in that manner. But the Lord already knows. He already knows Esau. He's the one who designed it. He designed Esau. He knows everything Esau's going to do, every outcome. Esau's programmed them to do those things. Esau's a deceptive ass serpent, all the way. His spirit goes all the way back to freaking Eve. The serpent in the Garden of Eden. Goes all the way back to the serpent, man. Also, the same spirit of Cain. I'm gonna read Habakkuk, the second chapter. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch and see what he shall say unto me. What I shall answer when I am reproved." And Yahweh answered me and said, "Answer the vision." Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And we're watching it before our eyes, man. We're watching it before our eyes that these things are not going to tarry, man. Which tarry means to basically slack, to be slow.
And it may seem slow, but it's coming to pass. And as the end is getting closer and closer, it's going to get faster and faster and faster. A lot of people want to get very overwhelmed with what's going on. This is happening here. That reminds me of
even the acting. That's why we need a lot of. This is why we need a lot of workers within this truth. And not watching it. It's because there's so much prophecies happening before our eyes. We can't keep it up. We can't keep up.
Yeah, a lot of other people, a lot of other can, you know, where
So we have different watchmen on different watchtowers.
could agree with me that days are going fast. I mean, look at this year. It's already almost October.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Right.
true. This year's going fast.
They got these stores already putting Halloween bullshit. You know.
Can you get that scripture? I was talking about days be short. Just put days short. You know, every time I think about it, it reminds me of Lord of the Rings. Remember Lord of the Rings? They I think they blew a horn and then they lit a giant bonfire on their watchtower, and it warns the other watchtowers the same thing.
I remember
So if things, if a brother didn't see one of the news happen, one of the other brothers are gonna bring it. It will be known. You know. Find it? See? It's in the New Testament. Right here. Make more tea. Oh, this one says that thing. I know it's a different perspective, but it's saying the same thing. That's why those are the testimonies of other brothers, you know, along with their story. So. Let me please. Start at 21 and read 22.
This is Matthew 24, verse 21. For then shall the great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world,
Great tribulation since the beginning of the world
to this time.
and to this time, and that's why the scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble, because it's going to start at Jacob. It's going to start at Israel first. You know, it says that in 1 Peter. Let me see if I can get that. You know.
Here's the video I found. Right, I'll let you know.
First Peter.
Yeah, there it is. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi. And if it begin at us, what shall be the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?" So, first of all, the tribulation starting with us first. Us brothers that are following the way of Yahawashi. It starts at us first, and then it starts going down. It starts going down the barrel from there. You know, so it starts at us, and then down from there. Then it goes to the wicked, and then it keeps going down. You know, and that tribulation it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. You know, it's going to get worse. But since we're doing the work of Yahawashi, we're going to be delivered up in those days, man. When Jacob's trouble happens, you know, some of us are going to be within some hard times, but we still have Yahawashi with us. You know, unlike the wicked, who just like the scripture say, who obey not the gospel of the Most High. You know, they're going to be in a much worse scenario, in a much worse case, and there's going to be none to deliver them.
This is why a lot of these prophecies are coming to pass. But in the very end, you know, when Jake starts seeing everything, because the prophets already mentioned it, the prophets are not around. They're going to know that, like the MOTV, the World War III now is hitting. The chariots are showing up. you know, everything according to the scriptures. They start seeing this and like, oh, wait, that's what the prophet says. And it's getting more overwhelming. It's getting more intense now, and they don't know. Some of these jakes already bugging out about it. I was going to go to this video here. Yeah, this guess I had to download it. It's Eve bugging out about because of what's going on.
Like shit ain't going on in this world. I'm going to go into a spiritual fucking psychosis. I'm going crazy. I made a list. Let's get into it. So these are a lot of things that I fucking started off with fucking COVID, okay? After COVID, then we had inflation. Everything went up. Gas, food, mortgage prices, everything, insurance, everything went the fuck up. Now we got artificial intelligence. The government is trying to take away fucking money, US dollars, forever. I don't even know what the fuck that's all about. And I know if they do it, I'm gonna be fucked because I don't know what the fuck they're doing. The Euphrates River has dried up. Nobody's worried about that. We have had the wildfires, the Canada wildfires, the Maui wildfires that they just started by these fucking laser beams. The government did that, by the way. And the Dominican Republic wildfires. Why do I hear nobody trying to shed no light on the Dominican Republic wildfires? I'm sorry. Bet the government just gonna motherfucking confirm and come out of nowhere and say, yeah, aliens are real, and now all you see is saucers from all different kinds of point of views, and now they're visible.
The reason they have to say that is because it's becoming more evident.
What the fuck? Then we have motherfuckers saying that they've seen skinwalkers and all kinds of shit like that, and then you had the lady seeing shit on the plane. Now she's coming to the internet apologizing for her trying to see something. No. Why is she being silenced? And then they made the motherfucking weed legal. And now there's fentanyl in it. You can't even smoke the calm down and forget about this shit now. For real, I really think this is all just part of that one world order coming into play. And we need to get back to Jesus. I don't care what nobody says, feels about it. And throw them crystals out, bitch. Throw the rock salts and seasonings all the way the fuck out. Fuck that. That ain't gonna help you from the rapture. That ain't gonna help you from the fire.
She's ranting. But see how overwhelmed Jake is gonna get. Jake don't know what to do, especially Eve.
The reason Esau has to point out the chariots now is because the chariots, the angels are becoming more evident within the sight of men. You know, as the days draw closer and closer and closer, Yahawashi told us, look up for your redemption is nigh. You know?
God.
I know. He said, look up for your redemption is nigh. You know, because as the days draw closer and closer and closer, when we look up and see the angels, it's a form of reassurance. It's a form of comforting. That's why the angels don't. They don't show up when you want them to. That's why the angels don't show up when you want them to. They show up when you least expect it, or when you're down, or Yahawashi puts the spirit on something, you know, and shows you 144 or 144,000, you know, when you're in a depressed state, and then when you see it, you can't even be depressed about it. You go like, it gives you that remembrance on why you're going through this, you know. And man, has many times has that happened to us, man. You know, speaking for ourselves at the moment, you know, the brothers over here will always go through shit, man. Always going through shit, whether it's from family, whether it's from financial, anything, man. We're always going through shit. You know, even within ourselves. You know, but what's keeping us above the water, what's keeping us above the water is this word. You know, and we absolutely understand what Yahawashi is talking about, that these are comforting words. Because it comforts our spirit. You know?
The Holy Spirit is a comforter. The words is a comforter.
Yeah.
Because you got to stay meditating on it, because the scriptures is yesterday's, today's, and forever newspaper. You know, it's a newspaper that is reusable. You know, because it's a part of Israel. You know, right now it's a part of the elect. The rest of Israel don't want to heed to the word, so they gotta go on this side. You know, this is an owner's manual of how to be a real man, pretty much a real people.
Yeah, it gives you instructions, man. It's our instruction book.
You know, and it's an instruction to how to live for eternity, pretty much.
Yeah,
because the words are eternal, and once you get that in you, that's you. That pretty much, you absorb this book, you basically become eternal, because the book is forever. You know, and that's what we're striving for. You know.
This is a wicked ass kingdom that constantly presses us left and right. You know, we have to strive for righteousness. That's what we're doing. Somebody want to get that word strive? I think there's the scripture about that too. You know, get that word strive.
Definition?
Etymology or definition of it. But search scripture.
Drive. I misspelled it again.
Yeah, there's a lot of scriptures on that. Yeah. Let me start at there's like two I want to get here. You got Matthew 12 and 19. Oh, not Matthew 12 and 19. Luke 13 and 24. Let's get that real quick.
I'm gonna use the Greek because some of them strive as usually with a negative connotation, because there's wicked that was striving against the Lord.
Yeah, it's just basically me. Yeah,
so it's like you wrestle.
Yeah, he got the definition of it. This is the definition of strive. This is to make great efforts to achieve or obtain something, struggle or fight vigorously. I'm gonna say it again. This is the definition of strive: to make great efforts to achieve or obtain something, struggle or fight vigorously. All right, this is Luke 13 and 24. It says, strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. You know, and we have this truth, man. That's why Yahawashi said, hold that fast which thou hast. It said, the scriptures talk about how many great men desire to see the things that we see. Many great men desire to see the things that we see and have not seen it. But we have. We have that. We have it within our hand. We have the truth, man. We have the key to life. We have the meaning of life. A lot of people don't know what the meaning of life is out here. You know, but we got it. You know? People always thinking about the way, how they're going to die. They don't want to die alone and all these yada, yada, yada. But our mind is on immortality, man. Our mind is on immortality. You know, there's also another one. Let me get on here too. I think this is here, Timothy. Oh, look at this. This one's a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna get this on the street. On the book.
Heard that.
Man,
So
don't
that-
have, man, fuck those guys, man.
Israelites, and I know they're not even black.
Stupid, bro. Stupid.
The outer appearance, the outer appearance judge.
Judge you on the outer appearance.
Yeah.
Our Lord didn't do that, man. The Lord did not do that. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace of Mashiach Yahawashi, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi HaMashiach. No man that would entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier." And that's what we're here to do, man. To be a soldier. Did he knock something down here? Did you drop something?
No.
Oh, good. You know, this is.
They just brutally come over here and interrupt the lesson. Too.
That's right.
You know?
So somebody get Ecclesiasticus, the 16th chapter, and get the part. I think it's somewhere in the 30s. It might be 60s. Ecclesiasticus chapter 16. Oh, not Ecclesiasticus. That's not.
Ecclesiastes.
Slack. Second Ezra chapter 16. Slack.
Ecclesiastes?
No.
Oh.
60. I think it's like 62, 61.
60?
Oh, Slack. No, keep going up. Keep going. It wasn't in the 60s. Keep going up. It might be in the 30s. 34? They got me the Buddha. Let's start at 37 and then read down. Read down to 40. 48. 37 and 48.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack.
They're not slack. We gotta keep that in mind.
That goes with the chariot. You
Yeah.
know?
You gotta keep that in mind. That's why it says, yo, before you continue, before I continue with this, you know, let me just land it back with another scripture. You know. I think I just jumped near it. Yeah, here it is. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 27. It says, "A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense. But a fool would not observe time." See, a fool would not observe that these plagues that Yahawashi Yahawashi are not slacking. He would not observe that because his eyes are not on the times. His eyes are not on the times.
That's why when things happen to a wicked Israelite, right? You know, things horrible. Whether he had an accident, you know, whether he survived on that accident, but it's horrible, or a loved one died for him, or whatever, right? And they knew the warning, right? Are you supposed to feel sorry for that? Are you supposed to feel sorry for Jake? Yeah, you could have some little consideration in it, but really you don't, because they didn't want to heed to this word. They were actually stupid and wicked.
That's right.
You know?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 20 says, "Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy."
When you examine yourself, you're basically looking at what you did, and you want to correct it so you don't do it again.
That's right.
You know?
That's why. Do you see how soldiers are? You see how hard the drill sergeants are to the soldiers? They fucking yell at them, give them punishments if they do something out of order.
Because they keep making mistakes until they get it right. It's like practice. It's like going to a kung fu freaking school, and you gotta learn something. And you're gonna do all kinds of mistakes until you get it right.
Yes, they
You
go
know?
fathers towards their son. You know, you see something you see something you don't want your son to do, you beat the hell out of your son, man.
It's the same.
Not like
same
punching and
concept.
shit like that. You know, beat his ass. You know,
You know, you gotta be on him like
with
like
a
I
belt,
say.
fucking rod, whip his ass, man. That's what scripture say. Spare not the rod, and it's the same thing with Yahawashi towards us. You know, he's trying to make us into warriors, man. As unto kings, God warriors, or God kings. God
You can see,
things like that.
see, the Yahawashi wants us to be perfect. You know, and Yahawashi, you know, he said it the best. You know, be ye perfect, like my father in heaven, roughly paraphrasing. You know, you gotta be perfect, and by the time you're perfect, you know, you basically you became a god pretty much.
That's right.
You know, because you know, quoting you, ye are little gods. You know, right now we rehearsing to be gods. You know, so we're gonna be above all these heathens. That's our. And the heathens are just gonna be possessions to us. You know, whether you like it or not. You know, it's not love, hugging, kisses. No, fucking open the fucking book and read it. You know, forget my French, my cleaner language. I just say, you know. You know, again, the second Esdras chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment. You know, because once the baby's coming, and you're like, you know, you see the movies like, breathe, and the woman's like, you know, the woman gets frustrated. Like, just shut the fuck up. It's coming. I can't stop it. You know, the pain just won't stop. Yeah, it's gonna come out no matter what. You know.
It's the same thing with
It's
the,
just
the birth of another kingdom.
Birth of another
One kingdom has to fall for another to be risen up.
And that's in that birth pain. Those when the prophecies come into pass, you know, plagues, wars, earthquakes, pestilence, all that. Those are birth pains, because the next kingdom is coming in, and it's coming in hard. It's a baby with a huge head. That's what it is. And this kingdom is just gonna explode because it's just too much, you know. But once the kingdom gets here, it's gonna be one big healthy baby. Everything's gonna be healthy. It's gonna be way better.
That's why the woman gets all happy when the baby's out. She gets to see the child. It's the same thing with
And hold that child dearly, because you don't want to go through that kind of pain again.
Yeah, it's
You know?
this is like the reward for the woman.
Feel rewarding.
Yes, that's how it is. That's why it's a woman considers it a blessing to have children. You know, that's why barren women, they want to have children, because they want to have that kind of thing. They don't feel like they feel like they're worthless.
They feel very joyous.
No.
You know, they enjoy it.
The whole duty of a woman is to give birth to children. That's a glory to a woman. You know, and the kingdom is likened onto that child. You know, you know, in the pain is representing those plagues, because they're not going to stop. You know, because the kingdom has to fall. That kingdom that is then has to fall. You know, for another kingdom to come about.
Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready for thy battle.
Make you ready for thy battle. This is what we're going through right now. We're going through a battle. There's a scripture talking about. Oh, yo, get that scripture. It says contend for the faith. Let's get that word. I need one person to find the word contend, a definition or etymology. You know, but and the other person get that scripture.
Contend. How do you spell that?
Contend.
Oh, contend.
Like contender. Contend. The number one contender, you know.
I got
Make
it.
sure you remember that.
Which one? You got what? Which?
I need a vote.
No, I said one verse. You get one.
Yeah, I got the scripture. I don't know if you got the
you get the definition.
I don't know.
All right, read that real quick. You know, before Abba goes further.
This is Jude chapter 1 verse 3. It says, Beloved, when I have gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which you have delivered unto the saints.
Now let's get that word contend. Get that word contend. See what you got.
I thought you got it.
He does got it. He's just looking at the synonyms.
I'm looking at everything.
This is the word contend. The definition of contend. It says struggle to surmount a difficulty or danger. It says engage in a competition or campaign in order to win or achieve. See, both of this apply.
This is a campaign for the kingdom, pretty much.
That's right.
You know?
And you're struggling against it. Yo, there's the synonyms down here. It's just to compete, challenge, contest, strive, struggle, grapple, wrestle. You see how Jacob was wrestling with the angel. You know?
And you see them with all these
He didn't stop until he blessed him.
they're movies about knights or movies about soldiers, doesn't matter what movie, but they're in the heat of the battle in that campaign, and they like this, and one carry the other one, right? And you're fighting your enemy, you're trying to get through pretty much the rally point or whatever, get to trying to get to that goal, you know, in the heat of a battle, you know. I mean, use your imagination about it, how it is, you know.
Got that goal.
You know. Now read it again. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils, even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Even as pilgrims upon the earth. And it's going to give you, it's going to tell you the type of mindset you should have. It's the same thing Yahawashi. That's the same exact thing. You have the spiritual eyes to see. That's the same thing Yahawashi was teaching. You know, if you have the eyes to see these things, you got the eyesight. You know, if you have your eyes enlightened, as the scriptures talk about.
No,
That's charging.
that's the charge.
Oh, the light. Oh, the light.
All right. All right. Verse 41. He that selleth, let him be as he had fleed away. He that buyeth, as one that will lose. He that occupied merchandise, as he had no profit by it. And he that buildeth, as he had Salak, as he that not dwell therein. He that soweth, as if he should not reap. So also he that planted the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, said Yahweh Bashana.
That's right. That's it right there. You know, and can Papa Shek go up real quick? Just like link it with other scriptures.
Instead it also destroys Christian doctrine.
God hates the sin, not the sin.
Yeah, that's dumb, bro. prayed, he basically appeared. Look it up with Yahawashi said, drop everything and follow me. Somebody want to get that?
That's 41. Yes, sir.
Drop everything and follow me. And that applies to literally everything. He that loses lands for my name's sake shall obtain hundredfold. All these things, you have the eyes of the sea, you can see these things. You see, call halayim like Yahawashi Yahawashi, man. That's all I can say. Like I was about to, like, damn. So why do Yahawashi Yahawashi for giving us this doctrine, giving us this truth? Damn. I see what the brothers are talking about in the ancient times, man. We're blessed. We're blessed in high places, man. You know, we're blessed. And we're trying to make this known. We're trying to make it known. You know, even if people forbear it, whether they hear or whether they forbear, we got to do this work. This is our solemn duty. Man, we're gonna look stupid out here. We're gonna look all this type of thing to the people, man. It don't even matter. We don't give a crap about our reputation out here. You know, we'll have this garment off and doing our own thing within this stupid ass world. People gonna say, "Oh, you're that one dude." You know, but they got a certain tone and show as if they have respect. Nah, bro. You know, the people hate what we talk about. They call us cultists, man. They call us Satanists, even though we have the Bible in our hand. You know? Yeah, you got really stupid people out here. Really stupid. Impudent. But we follow the way of Yahawashi, man. We don't give a crap about this stupid life. That's what Yahawashi said. If any man loses his life for my sake. You know? Man, there's like multiple type of things. You know, let's get all of that. The conditions, the following Yahawashi, let's get that. If any brothers know any of that, any scriptures that refer to the conditions of being in this truth, get it. You know,
You got one.
It's a blessing to have that mindset. It's an absolute blessing to have that mindset. You know, to put Yahawashi in front of you, ahead of you, over your family and everything. That is a blessing. Because a lot of men got too much pride. Ain't no one getting in front of my family.
And you don't have to worry about
anyone other than my family.
You don't have to worry about when you got Yahawashi. When you got Yahawashi in your mind, you don't have to worry about a lot of things. You don't have to worry about, what, you gotta buy a house, you gotta buy a car. Man, you just think about Yahawashi, man. You'll be all right. You know, there are jakes out here in worse condition. They're in worse condition, and they don't even have Yahawashi. Not having Yahawashi, you basically you're real life broke because you don't accept Yahawashi pretty much. You don't accept Yahawashi.
Yahawashi being life, and you don't accept Yahawashi. You love death. You love death. All men that hate me love death.
Good. And
you know why though? Why that? Nobody likes that. You know, nobody likes that. But if you dislike Yahawashi, if you hate Yahawashi, you love that.
And you also love that by not believing. You don't believe. You condemned already. You know? Any scoffer that come over here and say something against this truth, they condemned already because they didn't bat an ear. They didn't want to hear what God said.
It was given and it was declined.
Because you know what? A lot of these scoffers are idiots. When they come over here, they only repeat what the mainstream media will say.
Yeah, they don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
Exactly.
Like that Benjamin dude, man. He didn't even know what the hell our doctrine was about. He was like talking about virgin birth and all these. Dude, like, you are not knowing the scriptures, bro. What are you talking about? That's not even what we're teaching. He's just pulling shit out of his ass as if he knew it.
And he was glitching left and right. You mentioned faith, he glitched.
Yeah, he glitched,
and
man.
Another word.
So you don't know what faith is.
We mentioned something else, and he glitched again.
Oh,
like I think he's just gonna disappear and reappear the next block. Something's going on with him.
Not only that, when we bring out how the Lord looks and everything.
The description of the Lord. You know, he was.
Oh, he glitched on that. That was
He completely.
He was expecting us to be shocked. He was expecting us to be shocked, man, but that wasn't the case.
After we mentioned that, he completely rebooted He left, man.
And you know what's the problem with these jakes? Some of these jakes think that we're teaching sweet Jesus. And we're not. And because you know why? Because they look in the outer appearance.
And they never come over here to find out.
You know, they could find out if they just be quiet like a nice student, you know, and just listen to what we got to say. Listen to what the scriptures got to say. They think we were gonna say something other than what was actually the scriptures. You got it?
Yeah, I got 2%. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 2. It is better to go in the house of mourning than to go in the house of feasting, but that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. The sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the contention. I said that multiple times. I don't know why I said that. Continence. The heart is made better. The heart of the wise.
The heart is even better. That's true.
Because you're thinking. Yeah, when a person is in mourning or upset or did something that you're not supposed to and regret it, whatever, you think it over. You think it over. You think better when you quiet and you meditate. You meditate too because you reflect in yourself. When you're happy, you don't have time for that shit. You want to keep having fun. And what the next thing you want to do? Have fun, have fun, have fun. You become a forward person, pretty much. Become a complete fool. You know, pretty much a happier person. It's like your IQ start going down and down and down, more down without thinking. You gotta balance yourself out.
Anybody got scriptures about about the conditions of following Yahawashi?
That's what
Yeah, I was trying to find it.
You guys don't know any?
I don't know.
I have a lot of highlights.
Let's get that scripture was talking about. Drop everything and follow me.
Yeah,
I got
that's
one.
the one I was trying to find. But I couldn't find it.
I'm gonna read. This is Matthew
It's
chapter
not
16.
it's not worded like that, but it's the basic.
I was trying to word
point.
it different ways.
This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. And said, let me see.
I got one.
All right. Let me read this real quick. It's Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Yahawashi unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
Took my literally when I was looking up. Yeah. All right.
Get that scripture.
So it's in
talking about,
Matthew 19 chapter and 21.
19.
Again, Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Yahawashi unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Leave it right there.
Yeah,
You know?
I got the Luke 9:23, but it's the same.
No, I got this. I got Luke chapter 18, verse 18. 18, yeah. It's like let me see it. Ooh. Oh yeah, the right here is good. Let me start at 16. It says, but Yahawashi called unto them, it's like he called them unto him and said, suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of Yahweh. Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of Yahweh is as a little child shall no wise enter therein. That's right. You're supposed to grow in it. You're supposed to grow within this truth. It says, and a certain ruler asked him, saying, good master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And Yahawashi said unto him, why callest thou me good? None is good save one, that is Yahweh. Thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, honor thy father and mother. And he said, all these have I kept from my youth up. When Yahawashi heard these things, he said unto him, yet thou lackest one thing. So all that thou hast, there it is. So all that thou hast, distribute unto the poor, and thou shalt have the treasure. Thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. It says, and when he had heard this, he was very sorrowful, for he was very rich. And Yahawashi saw that he was very sorrowful, and he said, hardly shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. For it is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye, which is basically a pathway. It's basically a pathway in a town or a city, and it's like enough for a person to go through. For a camel, extremely tall.
It's very narrow.
Camels, yeah, it's narrow and low in height. It's hard for it's hard for a camel to get a camel to crouch under it. Because camels are extremely stubborn. You know, they're really, really stubborn. So it's hard for a camel to go under it. And that's why it says it's easier for a camel to go through the needle's eye. It is easier for a camel to go through the needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. That shows that rich man is more stubborn than that camel. Don't want to drop everything and follow him because he has much to lose. You know, especially when it comes to pride. See, a lot of rich men, they boast themselves. That's why they can't look upon the poor. That's why Yahawashi said distribute unto the poor, because rich people do not want to look onto the poor.
The poor,
you know, they want to get away from the poor.
So that the poor man will actually will listen, will take wisdom more cherish it, will treasure it more than a rich man.
That's right.
Rich man is just possessive. He's not going to learn. A rich man he'll have anything. Let's say there's a rich guy. You have everything, and you give him a Bible. That's going to be the next collection. He's just going to put it next to him, like, oh, that's my collection of this book and that book, with my car and here and this and that. He's not going to take time to just read that scripture because he boasting that he already got everything. He's not going to take an importance on the wisdom that the scripture has. You know, but poor man, let's say a poor man, he lived day by day, you know, day in, day out, eating by, whether it be begging or whether it be he's eating just like give him enough. He's not too rich, he's not too poor, but you give him a Bible, he's going to cherish it. And he has plenty of leisure time too, because it's like you have your favorite game. It's like you have your Xbox, right, or PlayStation, or you know, whatever console, right? But you cannot afford a lot of things. But you got your first game, but that's your only game. You're gonna keep falling back to that same game all over again because you cannot afford the next game. They're too expensive.
You're gonna most likely play that game until you.
You know, I have to speak it in a more modern term. You know,
poor people. You know, they're more humble than rich people. They're way more humble. You know, when they lose things, they're not that really affected by it. They always lose things. You know, and when they gain things, they take it more. They take it. They treasure it more. You know, but you see how wicked this kingdom is. You know, that the poor people are even proud. And that's one of the things Yahawashi hates, and all the righteous men of old.
that has come really
A poor man that is proud. Why the fuck are you proud? Bro, you don't got nothing. What are you proud about? You know, you only got the clothes on yourself. What are you to be proud about? You should be humble. You know? And what Yahawashi is trying to teach is that we are to drop everything and be like unto those men. that are poor, willing to, you know, willing to lose, willing to give up reputation, because that's when a poor person, when a person who had stuff before first become poor, it's hard for them to beg because they have too much pride. They got too much pride. They can't lower themselves that low.
They don't have an attitude like, how you say?
I can do it myself.
I can do it myself. I'm gonna get myself up.
Yeah,
you know?
when an old person falls, when an old person falls, and this is the first time they're ever going through this thing, and it's gonna, and little do they know is that it's gonna progress even further and worse from there. You know, when it first starts happening onto them, they're prideful. They're like, no, I got it. I can do it myself. No, I don't need any help. Things like that. You know, but over time, as they keep falling and they know they can't do it, you know, they accept help now. And then over time, they become humble. And they start thanking you and everything like that. That's what a lot of old people, you know. It's the same thing when a person who has stuff before first becomes poor. They don't want to beg. They don't want to ask for money. They don't want to do any of that. You know, it takes a strong spirit to do that. You know, and that's why Yahawashi was teaching for us to drop everything and follow him. You know, Yahawashi didn't even have a place to lay his head. You know, our Lord didn't have a place to lay his head, man. You know, we have to be the same mindset of Yahawashi, knowing that through Yahawashi we're going to attain riches beyond our thoughts. But that's like, to me, riches and everything that's beyond my thoughts. I'm like, if I get riches, it's simple. And that's my mindset. You know, it's the same thing as King Solomon. He thought the same thing. He thought riches is nothing but little dust. You know, he don't really care about riches. His mindset was on wisdom, on knowledge of Yahawashi. That's what his mindset was on.
Once you have the wisdom, you know, once you have Yahawashi, and he gives you that wisdom, right? While you fear him, you know, he applies everything else with it.
Yeah,
that's why it's important to have wisdom, because everything falls in place.
He said all
from
these
riches
things came with her.
Exactly.
You know,
and you get abundance. You get abundance on top of that.
Yeah, it says that wisdom making you friends unto the Most High and the prophets. You know, and that's beautiful, man. That's what I want. You know, I want to hear Yahawashi call me a friend. That's cool. You know, that's cool, man. You know,
that's like a feel good. That's like a feel good. You know?
You know, a lot of men, especially in this world, we see it as, when I say I want to show my reverence towards Yahawashi, or show my loyalty, like you see that badass knight that's always like standing next to the Lord, you know, and just there, you know. Well, also, you know, that's a cool position to be in.
It's like a king that's sitting in the throne. Like in the movies, there's a king that's sitting in the throne, right? But he got that knight, a loyal knight next to him. He called it his champion.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And you want to be champion. You want to be a champion of Yahawashi, you know?
He's also friends with him.
Exactly.
You know, like they drink together and shit like that. Then that's cool. You know, and Slacky, I still got a little bit more to say. You know, King David said that he'd rather be a doorkeeper in the kingdom of the Most High. You know, King David, who's a king, he would take the position of a doorkeeper in the kingdom of the Most High, in the heavens.
It feels honorable.
It's honorable.
You know,
and if you have that kind of mindset, blessed are you. Blessed are you, because look at the angels. How do you think the angels feel? Angels feel the same way.
They all the time.
They're pleased to do the will of Yahawashi. You see, we have the same mindset of the angels, man. You know why? Because we're the angels in the middle hand. You got angels in the right hand, which is the righteous angels, and then you got angels on the left hand, which are called demons. All right, but they're still angels. All right, the left hand, which is the angels that do all the wickedness, do all the fucking lying and deception in the minds of men, things like that. Those are angels with the left hand. All right, and then you got the angels right there in the middle, which the Most High spoke of in all Yahawashi, you know, spoke of all the way in the book of Genesis. Make man like unto us. And what is that us there? It said Allahayim, it says gods. Referring to Slakia. That's like, sorry. It's referring to Yahawashi, the 144,000, you know, and through the blueprint of the Most High to make man the image of the Most High, which is basically making angels that know both good and evil, just as the Most High. You know, so we're being those angels right there
With the balance.
with that balance. The angels of balance.
Because we got that balance in the kingdom of heaven. We already know the experience now. We went through evil. We also know good now.
Right.
And we appreciate the good now more. We're gonna be as the Father and as the Son.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
And you see the angels within the chariots. You see the chariots about. You know, the angels that reside. Those are our spiritual brothers.
It's gonna be complete. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be really complete.
You see the Akim about. You see the Akim about within this truth, right? But you got Akim up there in those chariots too. The left hand and the right hand. Both the angels are our brothers. You know, they are our brothers, man. Created by the same powers, created by the same God. You know, and that's beautiful.
I got 3.
Through that.
I'll read a little bit right here. This from KDC, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. Oh, let me go up here. Oh, I'll start Philippians first. Salak. KDC chapter 3. Salak again. Chapter 3. I guess that 3 throw me off. Yeah, Satan is messing up. This Philippians chapter 3, verse 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh in Hamashiach Yahawashi. 1 Timothy chapter 6.
I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of the Most High. That's true. That is the same thing. You talk about strive.
I'll read it
It's
out
the same
loud.
thing there.
I'll read it out loud again. This Philippians chapter 3, verse 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahawashi.
The word press there is the same thing for strive.
You push, you keep
Push
pushing.
yourself.
You know?
You push through that storm, man.
No matter what, you push.
That's
You're
right.
gonna hit all kinds of BS.
It's the same thing when
You
you're
push it. You push it as if you're in the middle of the battle.
It's
You know?
the same thing when you're stuck in the rain. Your mind says to push forward.
And
You
gotta
push forward. Go find shelter.
So even though
Make it home.
you catching crap, you getting wet, or your feet hurt, and you still gonna move. You gotta move
Right.
to get to where you
Get
need
to your
to go.
destination. And
You
our
know?
destination is to receive a crown from Yahawashi.
And the whole concept is to push and push until you reach where you need to go.
That's right. That's what a warrior does, man. That's what a warrior does, and that's what's beautiful. Yo, that's what's beautiful, man. You know, to be compared unto warriors. That's badass.
The minute you go like, man, I gave up. That's death.
That's cowardice.
That's it. It's death already, man.
You cowardice fool.
You know, you become as
How
a
dare you surrender?
you went AWOL. You become a deserter.
Traitor.
You know?
Traitor.
Or mutiny, or how they say, you know?
Sacrilege.
It's even worse if you train your whole life just to do that and to give
Oh
up
no,
in the
the
middle of
heretic.
it.
You know? And another one from KDC, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. But godliness with contentment is a great gain. For we brought nothing unto this world. And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
That's right.
You know?
That's why we our mind says nothing on this fucking world, man. Nothing. You want to think about your wife and everything like that? You wanna have women and stuff like that? Think about that in the kingdom, man. Like damn, think about it in the kingdom. Don't think about it here. Damn.
You know, oh yeah, that reminds me of the movie, that old movie. Hakim could have brought it up also. I had mentioned this before. There's one scene in this movie called Dead Presidents. You know, Jake goes to the war, right? With what's his name? Chris Tucker. You know, and he's sitting there with, you know, Chris Tucker's sitting there, and I think they're having a little beer or whatever. They're eating something. You know, and Chris Tucker's like, I see you have a little girl, man. It's like, let me see that photo or whatever. I forgot how it went. And he showed him the photo, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker, that's a baby, man. Daddy. Now he's like, no, man, think about it. That's your baby. He's like, nah, man, I ain't gonna think about this. We're in the middle of battle. The minute you start thinking about family, you're a dead man here. And that's what he said. And it's true.
You gotta focus. If you care about your family, focus on the goal. You know, if you care about your family, focus on Yahawashi.
And even
He will keep everything. He'll keep your children safe, man.
And that's the thing. A lot of family members they misinterpreted that you don't give a crap about them. You care about them. You're just not gonna show it at that moment. You right now you gotta focus. If you lose focus, it's just that, you know what? I'm gonna get too. I can't keep doing this anymore. I want to spend more time. Then forget about it. You could spend time with each other in the flames, you know, in the same barbecue.
That doesn't mean that you can't, you know, you can't be a father to your children, stuff like that. But you can't put them over Yahawashi Yahawashi.
You're gonna have some family members that are going off like crazy, right? You know, and they're not with this truth. And the only way you're gonna love them is that you keep focused, get to the kingdom of heaven, and meet them on the other side.
Right.
And tell them, see, I told you, pretty much, you know, because that's the best you can do. Because you gotta focus on yourself. And the end of the day, it's about you working your own salvation.
It's like if you send your kid to school, you know, for example, it's like one of those fucking those parent days. Your parent comes to school. You know, I don't know. You know the scenario. You know, and then but you have that same day, you have camp that day. So you have that choice: go and skip camp, or go to camp and skip that. So which one do you choose? It says you either serve one, you know, and despise the other.
It's the same thing.
It's kind of it's pretty much the same thing then.
If you got a camp day that you have to do, let's say it falls on a high holy day, right? But there happens to be a funeral somewhere. It's not, you know? It's like Yahawashi said, let the dead bury the dead. If somebody's taking care of your loved one, you know, and you don't show up, and you know what? That's a real big test. Who you want to put first, you know? And you can say the same about the wedding. The wedding, you say somebody invited you, somebody dear to you. You know, but he has a wedding that day, but it happens to be a high holy day that day.
You know, if
you gotta choose a high holy day.
If that happens, you gotta remember that the spirit goes back to the Lord, and you should know who you should thank for taking back that spirit.
Yeah. So if you don't attend to that important family meeting because you got a high holy day that you gotta attend for, you know, you gotta be ready that the family is gonna reject you, get mad at you. You gotta be ready for all that, you know, because that's part of this of the prophecies, anyways. That's part of the scriptures, you know. You have to choose Yahawashi Yahawashi before anything else, you know, and that's also you know, it's very close to the time of the MOTV. Very, very close, because it's right there, right in front of your face. Anyways, you know, that you got to choose Yahawashi Yahawashi and worldly survive, or how to get by, so you can live worldly. You choose Yahawashi Yahawashi, because the survival from Yahawashi Yahawashi is eternity. It's to be eternal. It's to be immortal. I'll continue right here. I'll read it again from 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 7. For we brought nothing unto this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
That's enough for us.
You know? All right.
That's enough for us, man. You know, we don't have no complaints about that, man. Having food and raiment.
Now I'll read the end down here. This from KDC Psalms. This is 2 Corinthians. Once again from KDC, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. And once again, KDC, Psalms chapter 34 verse 18. Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
Right, man. I like Yahawashi.
And he said, yeah.
I have three. First, this is Matthew chapter 19, verse 21. It says, Yahawashi said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come follow me. Matthew chapter 19, verse 21. Yahawashi said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell what thou hast, and give it to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come follow me.
What? Water, please, water.
Just give him the water.
It's small.
Also, are you reading Luke?
No,
Which
Matthew 19.
I just pretty much read the same thing, but it was a different perspective.
Let's read it again.
It's Matthew chapter 19, verse 21. This is, and Yahawashi said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that which thou hast, and give to the poor. Thou shalt have treasure in heaven.
Oh no, it was.
And come and follow me.
Right. Because we already have a treasure. It's in this treasure. It's like you got yourself a box with a combination lock, right? You open it, you see the riches, but you won't be able to obtain those riches like that until you get to the kingdom of heaven. It's showing you what you can have. You know, these scriptures is a huge treasure.
It's a good example. That's why this truth is represented as a crown. Now, a crown, a king without because a crown represents a king. Now, if you have that crown, that means you're a king. But what kind of king are you if you have no people? You know, we won't be a king until the kingdom. You won't utilize having that crown until the kingdom. You know, until Yahawashi puts that crown upon your head. You know?
I remember I was like 5 years old, right? And you know, that time that that Chris massacre, you know, because I wasn't in the truth that day, but I remember my you know, my father he gave me a radio control car. And he said that's yours, right? I think I was 4 or whatever. But anyways, he was like, it's yours. But he said, but you can't have it right now. I said, why? But you said it's mine. I said, yeah, but you gotta be a little older. He put it in the closet because it was an expensive toy at that time. It was like a car race, whatever, you know. And I had to wait till I get a little older so I can have it. But it's the same thing. The scripture. You got. It's showing you what you can have. It's showing you the treasure. You know. But we gotta grow in this. We gotta grow in this. You know. Once we grow in it, you know, and you keep growing it, you maturing in this truth. You know. Then you obtain the treasures from the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, because we know we know that we have treasures that no man has ever seen, no eye has ever seen. You know, we have treasures beyond that we can even think of. So if you want to see it, work for it. Work for it. Grow older in this truth.
Exactly. Mature. You know, mature up. You know.
Oh, you got more precepts, so you can read it.
This is James chapter 5 verse 10. It says, take my brothers the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord for example of suffering affliction and of patience. Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the of the patience of Job, and have seen
Job.
Job.
It smells the same.
It's the same.
Sorry, I was thinking of work and that's what this is an impatience of Job. Job. Goodness, I'm still thinking about it.
You have to rehearse. You're gonna have to rehearse those
Behold, I
three-letter
have
words.
counted them happy which endure. Ye have heard the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy.
Right.
It just shows.
Does it?
It just shows that the English language is stupid. It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense. You have to guess how to pronounce it.
Get another one. You said you had another
I'm
precept.
trying to see what's in the hand. Let me read it.
Another one. Can you see it?
Yeah, that's right.
I want to get rid of that. I don't know what that is. That's a new thing.
Blocking that.
Yeah. I can't stand it. I can't move it. If I don't press it.
What the hell?
Yeah. That thing is in the way, man.
Second Samuel 23.
No, I haven't read it yet. That popped up.
It says, the power of Israel, or the God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of Yahweh. That's right.
Exactly.
That's why it says, let's get that. That's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. There it is. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 17. It says, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And the love is the keeping of her laws, and giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh. Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be in thrones and scepters, it says, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. That's right.
That's the way it is, you know? That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. You know? We can only rehearse the righteous act. You know? To all you clown Israelites, splinter groups out there, they're trying to say that you can get saved by the law. You got it all wrong, because if you get saved by the law, then why Yahawashi came over here for? That means he died on the cross in vain? You know? We under grace. You know? We under the Yahawashi already put blood. Satan, freaking garbage. So, anyways, so basically, you know, we had to keep fighting. We gotta keep fighting, and we gotta keep fighting, because we're not fighting just one physical battle or everything hardship. We're fighting Satan too, the spirit. Satan, spiritual Satan. He's doing his job. You know, he's doing his job. We gotta deal with all kinds of madness. You know, even your eyes is catching hell. How your eyes is catching hell? You know, looking at this goddamn freaking kingdom right here. I don't even like looking at it, you know? I think a blind man that knows his truth, he's better off being blind. If there was a blind man here that might learn this truth, it's better to be blind in this world. You know?
With the air pollution?
You know? With the air pollution. Now the air
Now
pollution.
his senses on his smelling is bad.
It's enhanced now.
It's really worse than most people now.
But then the filthy conversations of the wicked, shit. Now you gotta be deaf. You know, it's too much. You know, the kingdom needs to come down here. You know.
Yeah, we need Yahawashi, man.
It'll be.
Now the brothers say we need Yahawashi. Yes.
It'll be best to be blind, deaf, and lose your sense of smell.
Damn.
Yeah. I was just thinking now. Ecclesiastes 10:1. It says a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And that's why it says, therefore, Yahawashi shall set the earth over one that is proper.
Right.
You know,
Second Esdras chapter 9 verse 7. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. God. It's true. You know, seek Yahawashi, you know, Rakakodash, why he may be found. And how you find him? Right here in the streets. Right here, when you see somebody preaching, you know, according to the scripture, according to the instruction of Yahawashi, then that's how you know that, you know what, these guys, they're not beating around the bush. They're saying exactly what Yahawashi is saying. You know? Not like these churches, you come, you go ask the minister, what's 2 + 2? He said, well, you know what? You know, it could be 3.5, and you know, they just fuck with you. They just fuck with your head, man. You know, keep you more confused. They keep you coming for more, you know, so they can make their extra money. You know? You gotta come to the prophets to give you the straight answer, to tell you how it is. And on top of that, if you don't have to take our word for it. Look up the answers for yourself too. Don't just take our word for it. You know? God, this is from KDC, Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. That sore destruction. And that says a lot. You know? That says a lot what's coming. You know? Because there's a lot of things that can kill you. This world, this kingdom right here is hazardous for your health. And it's hazardous for your soul. You know? You get too comfortable here, that's death. You get too comfortable because you're gonna get distracted. Sometimes you gotta balance yourself. Too much sports is bad for you. Too much food is bad for you. Too much of anything will destroy you. You gotta balance yourself.
You know, the longer you're in this truth, it really vexes you, and it really gets tiring seeing all these people still rejoicing in this world.
And
They do the same thing day in and day out.
And they're so used to it. It's like clockwork. You don't just see somebody waking up 6 in the morning to go to work, you know, and during work, this lunchtime, after lunchtime, go back to work, and then go home, rinse and repeat. You see that also among bug out Jake.
They seem
Wake
very
up in the
happy
morning,
about it too.
smoke something. You know, about go and get in the corner, smoke something. They're hungry, they eat something. After they eat something, smoke something. You know, the same bullshit here a little bit. You know what? I'm getting the munchies. Let me eat some chips. After that, smoke something, and then do the same bullshit. All like, what are you doing with your life, man? What the fuck are you doing with your life?
That's
you
what
think this is life?
That's why it's gonna be so satisfying. They're gonna keep doing that all the way until the day the Lord comes back, which is why it's gonna be so satisfying when it hits them, just like that.
That's why the Yahawashi is gonna put a spirit on the prophet that all this shit happening to Jake. We're gonna laugh at Jake, and we're gonna laugh most of them freaking Jakes that been scoffing and laughing at this. We're gonna laugh at them in this this an old saying that I remember growing up. They say the one who laughs the best. You know. You know,
That's why it's
speak for you. Exactly. That's coming for real, anyways. You want to put it that way, okay?
It's just like how they try to make us seem like the idiots, and now when it happens to them, we're like, who's the idiot now?
And they're gonna look stupid. You know what? Because that spirit's gonna fall on them. They're gonna feel ashamed. They're gonna feel like, damn it, I was fucking stupid. You know, yo, my shot, yo was shot. No, forget it. You had your chance. It's over, man. Shit.
Once an idiot, always an idiot.
You know, right here. Yeah, this place is polluted as hell, man. You know, Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to the word, it's because there's no light in them. That goes to your churches. That goes to splinter camps out there, not speaking according to this word. That goes to the ones that actually say, you need to follow the Lord, you need to follow the Lord. You don't follow your own law. Like, what the fuck is that, man? What the fuck is that? There's no lie in you. There's no lie in you. You know? And that goes to you commit people that come over here trying to say, I believe that the universe was created by a shoelace or something. Whatever, man. Coming with a madness. You know? Shit. Once again, can you see Proverbs chapter 16, verse 25? There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but in the end there are the ways of death. And you know what? A lot of chicks, they come over here with some opinions. They come over here with some like, what's that special word they like to use in scientific? Hypothesis, this idea, this like, you know what? But I think this is how it is. How is it? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. The words of Yahawashi, that's logic right there. That's reasoning. It tells you how to live. It tells you how to move in this polluted kingdom. You know? You know?
It is forsaken.
They tweak. I'm gonna have to call it tweaker jakes. They like to tweak things to make sense to them. You know? It's not gonna work, man. It's just not gonna work. Trying to find a window or opportunity. But guess what? A window opportunity works in this world, but a window opportunity doesn't work according to Yahawashi, because you'll be counted as a thief. That window opportunity meaning you just climbing somebody's window. You'll be counted as a thief and a robber. So there's only that door, and that door of mercy is closing. Guys, you know, we repeat righteousness and they repeat unrighteousness, and that's what they do, man. We tell them.
Yahawashi said that. Let the filthy be filthy still, and everything like that. It says let the righteous be righteous still.
And we may sound like we're trying to convince you, but we're not. We actually doing it. This is a passion. We doing this. The commandments of Yahawashi, and we love doing what we're doing. You know. So to you it may seem like we're trying to convince you to get saved. No, man. You know? We telling you through the spirit of Yahawashi to bend an ear, repent, come back to Yahawashi. Now it's up to Yahawashi to make you open that ear, to take those bricks off the ear canal. Because I remember seeing that picture about it. It's an ear, but it's full of bricks, the mortar bricks.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
I saw that, yeah.
You know, blocked out. But it's up to Yahawashi to undo them bricks. So maybe you can hear the word. That's not up to us. We're doing what we're supposed to do. That's all it is. So to any of you that think that, oh, these guys, what are they trying to do, man? They're trying to get us to come up. Fuck you, man. Let IUIC do that part. You know? And so they want to do their own thing.
You know, yeah,
You know?
Yahushua's a demolitionist.
Exactly. You know?
He's a mason. Is he not?
Huh?
Doesn't he do masonry?
Yahweh is a carpenter. He's a carpenter.
What is masonry?
That's
He did, you know, when you do carpentry, you do masonry with it.
he's a real mason, pretty much.
A builder.
An edifier.
A builder.
Because edify means edificio, which means a building.
Bricks and stuff like that. You know, they have skill in putting bricks together and building stuff.
It's called masonry?
Bricks or rocks, whatever. It's called masonry.
Oh. I never knew that.
Stone masonry.
I got another one for KDC.
He's a carpenter. Carpenter, they build houses.
Another priesthood from KDC. Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, like they always do, as usual. They routinely.
In the kingdom, that ain't gonna happen, man. No, that ain't gonna happen. Not on our watch. Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have the whole earth. Not on the earth.
Under Yahawashi. You know?
And all the other planets too. All the other mansions. The scripture's talking about. You know, ain't no one's gonna be doing that in that universe.
Yahweh shall be traveling with us up there in space. Come on. I told you I'll show you. I told you I'll show you, and I prepared this place for you. Imagine that. We're in the kingdom of heaven, right? We end up going into the heavens, right? And with Yahawashi, he's touring us. He said, I told you, this is the place I prepared for you. Look, check this out.
Yeah,
this is how it looks like. It's that feeling like, wow, man.
This all comes from the Father.
This is the place that I just prepared for you. You know? Holy smoke.
Yo, you mentioned the goosebumps. I can even in the new bodies. I get the goosebumps. Ooh, snap.
Yeah, the goosebumps going to be different with the heavenly bodies. Man, you get this aura, like this power, like that Super Saiyan thing or whatever.
Oh my
you know? But you know, man, we're gonna be powerful. You know, even the least of Israel is going to be as David, and David was strong.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
yeah, can you even imagine what other realms look like in other dimensions?
Dang, you can't even imagine it, bro.
Can't even
No,
imagine
no. Think about a color spectrum that's outside of all the one that you already know. You can't even think of a color that's outside of the colors that you know.
You don't know what kind of price is going to be there. What? I don't want to go too deep in it, but you know, I can only say it in the spec because could be other people there that we get to, either show them or subdue them. You know.
No,
I doubt.
You know, but it's just a thought. It's just a thought. I'm not gonna go too much into it. You know.
I wonder if these mortal bodies see a different color that we've never seen before, it'll probably croak. Brain probably won't be able to comprehend it.
Let me
I've
been holding this for like eons.
I gotta finish this. You know, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. That's pretty much it.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse, let me start at 4 again. It says, no man that warreth entangles himself with the affairs of his life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Verse 5, it says, and if the man also strive for mysteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive. Yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. That's it. That's all.
Strive lawfully.
Strive lawfully.
You To the best of your ability.
You ain't gonna obtain those mysteries or be crowned unless you strive lost.
The
Strive
right.
for righteousness.
Exactly. You know?
We was out here for like almost 2 hours.
That's why I keep saying this. I can't.
It's still weekend. If we go through the spirit, it doesn't. You know, you know, usually we're out here for about an hour and 25 to 30 minutes. An hour and 25 to an hour and 30 minutes.
Wait, that's it?
You know, usually that's how long their mini camps.
I mean, most
Growth of spirit. If it gets longer, it gets longer.
most of the time it goes longer.
Anybody else have first?
Nah, I was looking for something.
I have First Peter's, but that's like the whole one.
Roll through the spirit. You know, you see how the Aki goes, especially the Apostle Remlov. Sometimes his lessons are shorter than usual. Sometimes his lessons are longer. Just roll through the spirit, man.
Right. El Manatasaba's video. Sometimes it can
I
go
saw
up
him with
to
4 hours.
Almost 2-3 hours. I don't know if he did 4 hours.
I see 4 hours.
I rarely see 4 hours.
Because El Manatasaba, he has a lot
I
of
saw
fire.
Aki 8 hours.
Damn!
I saw Aki
Holy
8 hours. I'm not kidding, bro.
I remember
Half their whole day.
Apostle Rakar. You know, Apostle Rakar, he said that he's a fan. He's a fan of El Manatasaba video. You know, because the things that El Manatasaba, he's on fire, like, he's on fire most of the time.
I like Elder Yashawamba and Elder Makaala. Fire. Apostle Remlov.
Yo, this is kind of off topic, but you know the wisdom you feel. You know the wisdom you feel when you go straight to the apostles. Like you can feel the wisdom radiating off of them. Like
And somebody who sincerely wants to learn is 100 just go to the apostles.
and all the Akim around the apostles listening too.
This one more scriptures around KDC. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 1. For so much, then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mindset. Throwing me off. With the same.
I have to memorize.
With the same. I had to read it again. I picture it up. This First Peter chapter 4 verse 1. For so much, then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he had suffered in the flesh, has ceased from sin.
I have that memorized, man. I always heard it on video when I went out. And I have that memorized. The first verse, the second verse. That he should no more live his life in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High.
Oh yeah.
He's got to suffer, but at the same time, you know what? I'm gonna have to bring it up real quick also. If there are videos of Pastor Gabar, you know, he's doing his his exercise, you know, and all that. You have to keep yourself moving. Keep yourself moving. Don't stay too how you say, too relaxed or inactive. Let's put it like that. You know, it can't. Sometimes you gotta be fit even. That way you can push this word, because when you're unhealthy, that's going to be another obstacle that's going to trying to get you from even trying to teach out here. You have to have a lot of stamina, you know. And I know I got a bike. I go to work with that bike, you know. It keeps your stamina up, you know. It keeps you moving, even though you're getting tired, but you're still moving, you know. It's important, you know. Drink a lot of water. Eat the freaking sodas. Stop drinking Kool-Aids and all that fruit punch. You know, Arizona. But mostly water. You want to eat your vitamins. Buy whatever fruits you want to eat. Yeah, like if you got a favorite fruit, buy that favorite fruit. It could be a banana or whatever.
Find the most organic fruit.
You know.
You can get tea from make sure that it's not like Arizona, because Arizona has high percentage too. Like it's okay to drink, but if you drink way too much of it, it's really, really bad for you.
You know,
Tea is
I
good.
fructose corn syrup.
Things that can help your digestive system, like what is it? Ginger, like those ginger drinks. You know, or a little bit of probiotic once in a while if you're having problems like digestive stuff. You know, I'm just speaking, you know, on it. That's all I'm saying. You know, we do that in a sense. You know, but we gotta get used to drinking more and more water. I had to force quit certain juices. You know, of course, drink orange juice. You know, but it's very important. You know, I'm just saying, just to push this truth. I mean, that's, you know, you gotta stay fit to push this truth. You gotta stay fit, stay healthy. You know, it's very important. You know.
Yeah, like the brother said, herb tea or bush tea.
Yeah, herb tea. I like herb tea.
Good. You know.
And fasting goes on another health.
It's called hibiscus.
Use this body for enough time until we dispose of it and get a new body.
Hibiscus tea.
You know.
Like you mentioned, fasting is also another healthy thing you can do.
Right.
Oh, I think there was a time where I had dandelion tea.
Dandelion tea.
I think so.
That'll
I believe I had a time.
And you don't see that every day. You always see like black tea leaf, green tea. There are all the kinds of tea out there. You know, and you can buy these. Yeah.
Should we announce the Day of Atonement? Should we announce the Day of Atonement?
Brothers already know it.
Go ahead. No, we can say it. We can say it anyway.
Just in case.
You know. Yeah.
It's next week, August 25th or 26th, I think.
No,
Thursday.
August 24th. It'll fall on a Thursday night.
Thursday night to Friday night.
Friday night. You know. It's very important.
I'm
And
aware.
try to remind yourself not to do little mistakes here and there. Because Satan, he's doing his job like always. He's going to try to slide you. And sometimes you do it unintentionally, like, because it's your flesh too.
Day of
You know,
Atonement
it's
is a very important day.
you know, fucked up. Stay focused on this. You know. You know, and try to be an asshole to your body, pretty much. I'm saying it straight out. Try to be an a-hole to your own body, because your flesh is going to try to beg you like a 3-year-old child. Like, I'm hungry. I feel like eating this. I feel like eating that.
Holy shit.
You know?
What?
A baby-faced boy, aka a woman trying to be a dude that just.
They're two women. One looks like an overgrown, not even overgrown. Actually, it looks like a boy, but it's really a woman. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you mentioned Day of Atonement. When is it starting?
August 24th, Thursday night to Friday night.
Thursday night, Friday night.
I got one more scripture for Kitty. See right here. This is Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And Yahawashi, Yahawashi said, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. And that's pretty much see. Satan will work harder on you on high holy days. I'm gonna put it like that. You know, because there's all kinds of things that will distract you. There's a lot of things that will throw you off. Remember, there's all kinds of principalities that will attack you from all sides. It's going to be physical, spiritual. You know, and your flesh is one of them too. You know, so you got to stay spiritual in those days. You know, we're gonna end it here. You know, everybody face the east. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, Yahawashi.
Once again, we give double honors to our elders, the great millstone. No one let this ancestors edify your brothers and your sisters. But leave it up to my prayers, Shema Yahshua, Yahweh Allah Hayinawa, Yahweh Achad. Shalom, Shalom.